Last week, Disney made big news by announcing the Magic Key program, replacing the canceled Annual Pass program. And despite the fact that it was virtually identical to the old Annual Pass program, cheaper in fact, there was still quite a bit of resistance from some folks, mostly because reservations are required. And it's a fair gripe because for some Annual Pass holders, being able to go to the park whatever you want, any day you want, anytime you want, that's the only reason why they have an Annual Pass. For those people, the question is, what is the point of even having an Annual Pass if you can't go whenever you want? Will this group of APs ever get the kind of Magic Key that they are looking for? Will there ever be an end to the reservation system? We're going to talk about that next on FreshBaked. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to FreshBaked. I'm your host, David, and today I want to talk to you about reservations and whether or not I believe that they are here to stay or if there's reason to believe that they might end sometime in the near future. And I will say right up front that there absolutely is a chance that reservations could end, but a few things have to happen first. But before we get into that, I will remind everyone something that I have been saying since the parks reopened, before that even, and that is Disney loves reservations. They make it easier for Disney to staff the park. They make it easier for Disney to have the right amount of inventory for merchandise or for food. And they make it easier for Disney to move guests from super busy days over to less busy days. And it's that last point that is the difference between reservations staying and reservations leaving. The future of reservations depends almost entirely on how the park performs financially once Magic Keys are available to the public. To put it plainly, if Disney hits their revenue goals with reservations intact, then they will stay. If they miss their revenue goals, then they probably will cancel the reservation system. Now, some might be saying right now that it's a lock that Disney's going to hit their reservation goals. They're not even trying hard, and the park already feels pretty busy. But I'm here to tell you that is by no means a done deal. All you have to do is look at what's happened in the parks and in the news over the past couple of months. Disney opened up under severely limited capacity back in April. Rough guess is something around 25%. Since then, they have only slightly increased capacity. It is my understanding that Disney is still operating at about 40%. Meanwhile, if you've been watching the reservation calendar, you'll know that guests are having no problem at all making reservations right now. I could make one for tomorrow if I want. I could have made one for today, which means that they're having trouble filling all the reservations even at 40%. And the reason, and this is something that we've talked about in videos in the past a few times, the reason is that Disney has not been able to convert Annual Pass holders into full price ticket guests. APs have resisted. Disney's first step in addressing this was the 3-day California Pass, and it was a great deal, to be sure. I bought a set. It was a great deal, but that still didn't do the job. Disney was still having trouble filling in all those reservations. APs continue to resist. Now, remember when I said a while back that we probably wouldn't be seeing an AP until the new year? Disney President Ken Potrick said something similar, that we would have a new Annual Pass program announced or in place by the end of the year. We thought we might get news in the fall, news about an AP program, and then that program would become in effect over the new year. And the reasoning was, the thought was that they could fill the parks during the holiday season. There would be enough holiday demand that they could keep the park at least at their expectations without bringing in the new AP program. But they were wrong. APs resisted, and now we got Magic Keys a full 4 months sooner than we were expecting, than even Disney was expecting, according to Ken Potrick, who was again expecting something at the end of the year. Make no mistake, Disney selling Annual Passes in August is a huge win for Disney guests, and not just for Annual Pass holders, because if that move isn't made, it's a signal that Disney was getting what they wanted out of the current program, out of selling single day and multi-day tickets, out of selling SoCal or California 3-day passes. They were getting what they wanted, and that's with a reservation system. So if Disney's happy, the reservation system stays. But with the Magic Key coming in, that's a signal that the reservation system may also be coming to an end. So what needs to happen going forward? Disney needs all those old APs to come back and get a Magic Pass at least the same levels that they did pre-COVID. Now I say at least because remember, they're selling this program, the Magic Keys, at a discount. Not just the same price as they were before, but less than they were selling them before. If they were selling the Signature Plus Pass today, it would be going for $1,500 or more. And the Magic Key, the Dream Key, is going for $1,400. Now, you can argue about the reservation thing or whatever. I'm just talking about revenue being generated. They're making $1,400 a year on Dream Keys, which is $100 less per ticket than they were making on the Signature Plus Pass. The bottom line doesn't care about reservations, though. The bottom line cares about X times $1,500 versus X times $1,400. How do you get those two numbers to agree with each other? So they need to sell more Dream Keys than they did Signature Plus Passes in order just to break even year over year from 2019 or 2020. And what I'm about to say now actually may sound a bit crazy, but it's possible that Disney's taking a loss on annual passes, at least in this first year. They want to get as many people as possible adopted into the new program, and then you'll probably see a price increase next year at the usual time after the holidays, February, again, as usually is the case. And that increase, by the way, will probably be more than the traditional amount, which is somewhere in the $50 range, although we have seen them in the past that were $150 or $200. That may be a more likely number, something like $150 or $200, but that's just speculation right now. But with that aside, that's not even all that we have to do. Now Disney also has to sell more per guest per day. We've heard Chapek allude to per guest spending per visit in the earnings reports, and how APs don't spend as much per visit per day as your single day or multi-day ticket holders. And that is why only the Dream Key had paid parking. There was no other pass that included parking. There was no option for a la carte parking. You can't buy a parking pass a la carte like you used to in the past. If you want paid parking, you got to get the Dream Key. Otherwise, it's $25 per visit. Second, no mention of Max Pass in the Magic Key announcement. This used to be something that was included in the annual pass program for all passes. Easy answer, there's no Fast Pass right now, but I don't think that matters. I think the omission of Max Pass was intentional, irrespective of whether or not Fast Pass exists in the park. It is my expectation that once Magic Keys become available, that we will see Max Pass come back shortly thereafter. Not necessarily right when they open up, but not long after. All it's going to take is an increase in capacity. Once that happens, you're going to see more APs sold and Max Pass or Fast Pass return. And when it does come back, it will come back as a paid Max Pass, but it will not be included in the AP, and you're going to have to pay, well, I don't even know what the price was. It wasn't $10 anymore, was it? It was $12 or $15 per day. That or the dreaded paid Fast Pass. One thing that probably will not be coming back, though, is free Fast Pass. I don't think we're going to be seeing that again. And finally, for Disney to create more opportunities for single-day and multi-day ticket holders to visit Disneyland on the weekends, they need more APs to go during the week. And this part is as much art as it is science. You do this by finessing the reservation calendar to get more AP reservations open during the week than on the weekends. And this is done by creating artificial scarcity for those reservation spots. That is to say, a small bucket of available AP reservations for the weekends, and then the rest left for single day and multi-day ticket holders. Then, and this is where the art starts to apply, if the weekends are still not filling up to Disney's liking, then they would release more reservations to annual pass holders the night before, the day of, maybe even as late as noon or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or something like that, sort of to that spur of the moment type visit for the APs. If this is the case, and there's language in the fine print that says that Disney may be doing this, they don't use that specific language. They talk about reservations being released on a rolling basis. If this is done, this is where I would encourage annual pass holders to hang on to hope that you can do that thing where you get to go whenever you feel like it, because it may look like you can't, 2 days ago or 2 days before, but then the day of or the day before, that spot might open up. It's a drag, but it is possible. You just have to pay attention to the calendar. If you've got a day in mind or something like that, just look at the calendar and hopefully those dates are there. And I will say this, I do think that those dates will be there. I do not expect to see a bunch of blacked out dates, or I should say full reservation dates for annual pass holders on dates that they're not blocked out. I think the dates are going to be there. I don't have anything to base this on other than just my gut instinct, but that gut instinct is informed by months of observation, seeing what I've seen, hearing what I've heard. I have a feeling Disney is not getting what they want, and they're not gonna get what they want in terms of attendance. And the reason for that is, in short, APs have resisted. Not all of them, but enough to make Disney change their plan and to possibly cancel the reservation system. We're not going to know for a bit still, though. My expectation is for the next couple of weeks, we're going to see super light crowds in the parks, and I'm going to confirm that on Saturday when I visit. But I expect the next 2 weeks to be super light as the APs continue to stay home until August 25th. And then for those who do choose to opt in, we'll see a spike probably that first week or so, maybe 2 weeks after August 25th. We'll see a spike. And then maybe the first week of September is when we'll start to notice whether or not the influx of annual pass holders has created any more crowds at the park, if they're showing up less or more than we had expected. For now, I'm going to believe what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing. Light crowds in the parks and Disney reacting in ways that they were not expecting to. The 3-day California pass and Magic Keys 4 months before we had expected them. Until then, keep watching Fresh Baked. We do more than just news around here. We make some of the best dang trip reports from in the park that you'll find anywhere on YouTube. We do Disney better than anybody does, in my opinion, and you won't be sorry. Watch our trip reports coming up every week. We got videos coming from in the park, and we've also got our news and how-to videos to go with that. And then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney.com. And if you like our show and you want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you very much. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. At FreshBaked.